Hello, this is a tutorial on how to zoom into your Fractal in the beta version of Fractal Architect for iOS, and it's the same for Fractal Architect for Mac. I start with something I made here, this fractal here. I would like to zoom into this, and there are several ways to do that. Let's first go into the Xform editor and see what we have here. Go to the transform tab. You can see we have 4 transforms and we have 2 final transforms. Now, one way is to go to the layer and go into the settings there, and you go to viewport and camera, and you have 2 options here. You have scale and you have zoom. Zoom is not a good alternative because you very fast lose in quality and get more noise and stuff like that. So I never use zoom actually, but scale is a better answer. And the default scale when you make a fractal is 200. You can see we have 57 here, so we have room to scale up the fractal up. It's not a good idea to go above 200 because then you start losing quality also. But I can go to 170 without problem. So that's one way. Another way to do it is to use the final transforms. You can of course pinch and zoom like this, but what you do then is that you actually change the scale. Now it's 180 from it was 57. So this is the parameter you change when you pinch the fractal and zoom it with your fingers. That can be good to know. Well, if we want to use the final transforms, let's see what final transforms we have. We have a Fucky and we have a tile HLP. And a good way to zoom is to change the weight of the final transform, the variation that is inside the final transform, not the final transform in itself. You can't change the weight of that one. But depending on what you have, you can also change the shapes if you do that. Let's see what happens if we change this. I want more headroom there, so I'll enter 20 instead of 2. No, this is fine to zoom in like that, no problem. I zoom right out again now. Well, not that much. If we choose the first final, the Fucky, I believe that you will get to see we change the shape too, and that might be what we want, and it might not be what we want. Right now we don't want it. But if you have set up a complex chain of final transforms here, you can always do like this if you don't want to mess with them, but you do make another final transform, number 3 here, and you get a linear. And the linear is very good for zooming in too. Change the weight of the linear. You see you can go very close without losing any quality at all. So that's actually, I would say, the best way to zoom. There's another way. We re-enter the default number here, 1. You can, of course, go to the final 3 here in this case and change the size of the triangle. That will also zoom it. And you can, of course, rotate the whole thing by rotating the triangle like that. I just want to finish this one to set it to what I wanted to. I choose the easiest path. I will choose a path that's clear. I will choose free wheel rush. Like that. I like that. So I will call that Fractal finished. Yes. So that's a little bit about zooming. Another thing I want to show you that it's rather hidden actually. I haven't talked about it in any tutorial, I think. Let's go back into the Xform editor and we go to the linear, the final 3 and the graphical editor. Now you saw we could zoom like this, we could rotate like this, but there's also another thing we can do here. If you take hold of one of the points of the triangle, you can change the shape like this. I don't believe I have talked about that in any of the tutorials, but it gives you a lot of possibilities. It can be pretty fun to play with actually. Ooh, that's nice. It's here that I would like to add to favorites, but I have to go back here and I can add to favorites there, and I have to go to the graphical editor for the final. I can't undo it now because I have had once exited the graphical editor, but I can go to pre-matrix. I can hit default matrix and it's back to normal. Or I can try a random a number of times, see if I find something that is interesting. Like that. Well, I just wanted to show you that because, as I said, I haven't talked about that in any tutorial so far, and it's the same on the Mac version of Fractal Architect. Okay, over and out.